What's up everybody, my name's Tyler. Today we're taking a look at some more gear that I regularly use. Do a little bit of a review for y'all. So we're looking at my winter setup. Being a mountain biker, living in a ski town, gotta do something all winter. I get burnt on the trainer. So this year I decided to invest in a lighter weight uphill setup. I've been uphilling for about 4 years on a heavy setup with shift bindings and AT boots. It's been great, but I want to take it to the next level. So this year I invested in the Dynafit Blacklight Pro ski, Black Diamond Helio 145s, got some Scarpa boots I'm using. So this video I wanted to talk specifically about the PinSkin system. This is the first ski I believe that Dynafit uses that technology on. So when I bought it, I knew it was a gamble. There's not a whole lot of information out there yet. So yeah, I just wanted to go over my experience over a winter of using the system and let you guys know what I found. So let's dive into it. As far as the race transition promise, that's kind of it's a hit and miss thing. So the way that the pin interacts with the ski is that it goes straight through, just through the tail or through like the back end of the ski. And so you're able to rip the skin off from the front of the ski, and you can always get it in one rip, but then what happens is, I found more often than not, this pin would get caught in the ski. So you're not going to get a guaranteed clean race transition every single time. And the other issue that I ran into is after 2 months or so of doing race-like transitions where I was going for a single tear off, I actually had the pin entirely just come off of the skin. That was interesting because with some of the races I was looking at doing this winter anyways, I was concerned about the transitions, the impacts of that pin. So I was getting ready to cut them off anyways in order to have just a traditional tailless quick rip skin. I cut the clip off of the other skin, and that's how I've been running them since. So I run the skins without the pins to start every single tour. So if that skin fails, it freezes over, anything happens, it's compromised, I do have a pair with the pins in my bag. And I do that because that skin with the pin is like a safety net. The whole time I used that prior to the pins coming out, I never had an issue with it coming off. No compromises. It worked every single time. And I think that's a good takeaway because the skin, like, this is not a race setup. I'm trying to use it as a race setup, but it's not a race setup. So if I was using it for what it's specifically designed for, where I'm not doing race ripoffs, then it probably wouldn't have ripped off, like the pin wouldn't have torn off. But also, I wouldn't have anything negative to say about it. It does exactly what it needs. It's a pretty quick moving skin. It's easy to pull off from the top of the ski. It sticks well. I didn't have a single one fail. So that's all great. But if you are trying to do quick tear-offs, that's where it starts to kind of struggle. Another thing that I ran into and I noticed is, this is a Race 2.0 skin, so it's one of the best skins on the market for efficiency and glide and just being a quick moving skin. But what I found is that the pin is essentially sewn on at the back of the skin. So it creates a little bit of a divot. And what I found is in certain snow conditions, generally more hard pack stuff you'd run into inbounds, not really out on like a skin track or in the backcountry. But I found that divot actually drags. So if you look at your skin track, you'd have like the smooth part from the level portion of the skin and then a divot where the pin is and then smooth again. And on certain conditions, it felt like a boat anchor. Like these had no glide at all. There was a visible divot in the skin track from this pin. So that said, once again, if you're using it for the backcountry, you're probably never going to notice it. But if you're using it inbounds on certain conditions, it's very noticeable. And that's why once the pin came off of this skin and it just became a smooth tail, that's why this was always my go-to, because it is a race skin. It's super quick. It glides much better than the version with the pin just because of that anchor point. And you can do race tear-offs. As a system, I think they're onto something. It's going the right direction. It's not quite there for racing. It's great for touring. For the general person, if you're skinning inbounds or even out of bounds, if you're skinning anywhere and you're not worried about efficient transitions, maybe more times than not you take your skis off to pull the skins off, then this is a great system. If you're trying to race like I am, but doing it on a non-race setup because you didn't buy a race setup, then I wouldn't run this. I'd use the modified version of the skin and then have a pin version as a backup or for days that you're not going for efficiency. So yeah, that's kind of my take on PinSkin system. It's a great system. It's a work in progress. I feel like it's gonna get better. I hope, but it is promising. Just not on the race course. Let's see what Dynafit brings to the game next winter. I think there will be more skis with it. But yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Have a great spring, enjoy your summer, and we'll be back on the snow next winter. Thanks.